To the top. Sex to the top.
We are live, live and direct from your bitch house. What's going on, everybody? I know I came on here. I'm about 3 hours late. You know, I'll be a busy man. Yo, Daniel, what's going on? Yo, Daniel, did you see that beating? Did you see that beating? That was bad. That was bad. Horrible. RB in the building. What's going on? You made it tonight. What's happening? Yeah, I'm up here rewatching Dynamite. Sure, I've already seen like some, not so good reviews about the show, but I don't know. The show was pretty good. I think the show was good for me because I wasn't looking for nothing in particular to happen, just continuation of what's been going on and continue to build towards Double or Nothing. They need to go ahead and put the title on Samoa Joe. And I wouldn't mind them doing that. But we said that about Cope, about Swerve. And it's like I don't want to get my hopes up, and because I would love to see it. Because I enjoy Samoa Joe as World Heavyweight Champion. He's anywhere Samoa Joe has been World Heavyweight Champion, I've enjoyed it. Although when he was ECW World Champion, he didn't exactly get to defend his title, considering the night that he won it was the last was the last official night of ECW. So I don't mind shows like this. I will say that I did like the fact that TK had Rhino losing. Like I would have had it, if you didn't want him to win, don't have him lose. Just have a disqualification, make him look like the monster he's always been booked to be. That's probably like my only issue with tonight's show. I knew one day it wasn't finna. I knew they wasn't finna put the world title on Swerve. It's almost like, because I've been seeing people talk about how TK is burying Swerve, and I kind of like nah. I think what I'm saying. It's like, okay, we're just gonna build him back up. But then the more I'm looking at it and how it's happening tonight, that was probably the other part. Like, why did you have Swerve lose again? Did you notice that Swerve has had a losing record since losing the AEW World Title last year? He has an under 500 record by sheesh. It's a few. Oh no, what I was saying was I like Joe everywhere where he's been a world champion at. So every promotion that he's been a world champion at, I've enjoyed it because he is that type guy that can carry a company. He's a great wrestler. He's technical. Look, he's technical. He could do the fast-paced style. He could do lucha libre style. You know what I'm saying? He can talk on the mic with the best of them. You know, he's a menace in the ring. He's also entertaining, so you get the entertainment side of it. So, you know. Thoughts on WWE recent releases? Not surprised.
You're going to be taking on some iteration of the Dawn.
See, I don't really have any thoughts on it.
There in the ring, you guys are so close.
I just don't like, and this is ain't with WWE. This is with any wrestling company. I don't like how they have these wrestlers on their roster, and they just don't do anything with them, and then they just release them. Like Shayna Baszler. She was one of the hottest things going into SummerSlam a couple years ago when she wrestled Ronda Rousey in that. Why wasn't that match in the cage? That match should have been in the cage at least. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna do like a UFC type, if you're gonna do a mixed martial arts type match, you at least have a cage. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know they do mixed martial arts in the ring too, but yeah. But nonetheless, she came out on top, and that was a way to push her, and then they end up putting her right back into a tag team. Like, I don't know. Swerve need to start politicking. Well, yeah, because I mean, after a while, he is the richest person in AEW. He has the richest contract in AEW. So, I mean, it's wrestling. Shoot, who don't politic in wrestling? Barry motherfucking Wood in the building. What's going on, Barry? Kurt Angle, Kevin Nash, taught Joe very well. Yeah. Taught him how to be a great grappler. Lonnie in the building. I am Barry Wood. I am Barry Wood. Lonnie Wood. Shayna Baszler got released because she shot on Jay. Well, I mean, look, Shayna should have just left herself. Because they weren't, this is the problem I have with some of the wrestlers at WWE. Because it's WWE, they don't want to just say, okay, I'm done. I'm just walking out. They'd rather get cut than, have some pride about themselves and bounce. She hasn't been used right ever since they moved her up to the main roster. All these years, they haven't done jack squiggly squat. Shayna Baszler was one of the menacing, dominant. I mean, basically it's like this. Sum it all up. What they did to Shayna was the same way they did to Asuka. It was like Vince said, Triple H, Paul, you can have NXT. You get them guys ready, and then I'll call them up when and then he calls them up and doesn't know what to do with them. And then they're like, well, we could just like, okay, maybe that'll work then. But these different promotions, wrestling is so hot right now. All these different promotions is making so much money. Wrestlers, see, it's not like back in the, now, of course, there is some indie promotions where you still making like $20, $30, if that, a night. But a lot of these bigger indie promotions like GCW, these guys is getting paid. These guys and girls are getting paid. And yes, WWE, it's all a facade. Yeah, you got the big money, but are you working? And yeah, AEW got that same problem too. But AEW still, they're only a 5-year-old company, almost a 6-year-old, a 5.5-year-old company. WWE is like an 80-year-old company. What's he? Wait, that was 50 years to yeah, they're like an 80-year-old company now. Almost 100 years. So I'm new here. See, do black wrestlers never politic? The Rock don't count because Rock um some of them have, but the majority don't just because um for whatever reason having a black world champion is something that I don't know what the problem is with it. You know, um wait, hold on. I'm gonna hold that thought.
Guys, I am here with Jamie Hayter. Right now, we are just over 2.5 weeks away from Double or Nothing, where you are going to be in the nation tournament facing Mercedes Moné.
Okay.
Going on.
Y'all still hear me? I'm still good? Okay, cool. So yeah, like I was saying, it's not a red. It's not something that happens all the time, and I wish they would do more. Like with Booker T. Booker T should have been politicking to win the world title at WrestleMania against Triple H. Keep in mind when we talking about experience, Triple H and Booker T got the same amount of years. I think Booker T probably maybe have maybe a year or two. No, as a matter of fact, hold on. Booker T actually probably has Triple H beat by a year or two. And then not only that, but Booker T's been on TV longer than Triple H has. Because I remember watching GWF back in the day, around 1990, 91, and seeing Booker on there. And then it wasn't until 1994 when we seen Triple H in WCW under his real name.
Renee, I don't have a resume. I don't have
so, and then we also have to understand the whole racism thing when it comes to wrestlers. You know, you go back in the day. Please tell me why Tony Atlas was not a world champion. Now I know we all seen Dark Side of the Ring. We all know the story and everything, but he was the hottest thing. He was the hottest thing at that time. Why wasn't he a world champion? No, we're not going to put the world title on you, but what we're going to do is we're going to team you up with another black wrestler named Rocky Johnson. We're going to put you guys together, and we're going to put the world tag team titles on you, and you guys are going to make history being the first black world tag team champions. Even when there's contention between the two, you still went in that direction. Yes, salute Jay Coffee. If you wasn't there the other night, I don't know what to tell you. All these other promotions need to stay away from WWE on everything. Thoughts on Tully Blanchard's comeback and the revival of the Four Horsemen? Oh, what? Oh, thoughts on Tully Blanchard? Tully Blanchard needs to stay retired. And the revival of the Four Horsemen, don't do it. Don't need to see no more. That's been dead in the water. Let it go. And besides, the only real horsemen, if you ask me, the only time the horsemen were like what I consider the four horsemen is the group with Oli and Luger and Barry. Those three iterations of the horsemen. Oli, Luger, and Barry. Outside of that, everything else is just a joke job. When I say politic, I mean politic like, oh no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It, and even with that, I mean, Ahmed Johnson was going to be world champion. They was going to put the world title on Ahmed Johnson. I think we all know why that didn't happen. Speaking of the clique prevented a lot of people from becoming stars. God, Mercedes looks so hot. She is so fucking sexy. Mm-mm. But I still ain't spending no $99 to text her either. Well, I want to text for her. I want to talk to you. You hear my voice and I hear your voice. I don't want to do all that texting. You can keep that carpal tunnel. Testosterone therapy done hit the 80-year-olds. I'm telling you, man, yo, y'all ain't gotta keep wrestling. It's all good. Jay, what's your thoughts on the Shelton Benjamin? Oh man, Benjamin Shelton. You talk about Benjamin Shelton? Hulk Hogan need to go away. Hulk Hogan need to go away. Hulk Hogan has ruined all of our childhoods that grew up watching him, that enjoyed watching him and being a Hulkamaniac. I mean, yo, Shelton fired back. He said what he had to say, and you know, and if I was Hogan, I'd be very wise and not say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Keep your mouth shut, baby. Because every time you open up your mouth now, you always you be kicking your own ass with nobody touching you.
CW Collision will be airing, and you can watch Bill Nightingale collide.
A long history. See, Muhammad, what's going on? I just did a spin. Oh man. The Spinneroonie. I was like, when I first seen Booker do it, I was like, oh, he done brought back the old school. He done brought back breakdancing. He done brought the breakdancing into wrestling. Booker T shouldn't threaten to not show up to WrestleMania 19 if he was going to go over. Yeah, but and that's the see that's the thing. He was going to go. They wanted to put Booker over, but Triple H was like, no. Triple H has a problem with black people. He can sit up here and say, I don't see color and all this and all that. And, you know, he could talk proudly about Travis Scott and all that, but Triple H don't like black people. You know what I'm saying? Let's just call it what it is. Yeah, Mom, I don't know what to say about that. You know, it's just I need to just start scheduling my lives again. That's what I need to do, and then that way I can just come on here and let y'all know when. And then Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson, yeah, they were legit. They were legit. You know. But you know what? Now we see where The Rock gets that prima donna creative control politicking from. Because that's exactly what his dad did. He wasn't the champ because his speech impediment. I wish it was just that. I would still have a problem with that, considering some of the people that's been world champion. But nah, it was politics behind it. Rocky Johnson screwed him. He screwed him. He was jealous. He was jealous because Tony Atlas was becoming that guy. He was more popular than he was. You know, ego is a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing, y'all. Yep, Barry Windham. Yep, he. As a matter of fact, I wish Tully and Arn had stayed a little bit longer, so we could have got a full year of that Horseman. Because I thought that Four Horseman was dope. Book definitely sold himself out when Triple H told Book all you can do is dance. Something to the effect Booker T sellout response was that maybe so. Yeah. Booker do better. Barry Horowitz. Now Iron Mike Sharp with the with the black cast on. Macho Man's brother, Lanny Poffo, the genius. Yo, I love that character, genius. That shit used to get on my dick. I don't know if you're aware, I call Hulk Hogan. Man. David Carter. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he does. Triple H does like black people. No, he Barry, you know he don't like black people. When he watches them go into Stephanie. Oh, Paul is a cuck. we call it Triple H a cuck. Yo, you know Stephanie loved the brothers. You know Stephanie loved she loved the brothers. Yeah, I can't disagree with that either. Every time Triple H say I don't see color, I scream, what about respect? Yo, hey, somebody should bust out and say that during one of the whatchamacallits after the show. Triple H be hella man. Well, you know, it wasn't that. I didn't want no black guy to be World Heavyweight Champion. It's business. Oh, it's business. Okay, so let me go put my thing up in your wife because it's just business. Oh, man. I'll tell you. Oh, man. There you go. If Stephanie say I don't see color, she definitely telling the truth. Yo, hey, if you don't know, all you gotta do is just look at her interactions with certain people. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. Instantly. These all got me. I play on. You know. Well, I'll tell you what, back in the day, I would have did Stephanie shit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and turn a $5. You know what I'm saying? You remember when they tried to present her as this little innocent, wholesome girl? Like, come on now. We all know what Stephanie was doing backstage. Come on now. We know. I'm about to say Stacy. You know Stephanie is a big old freak. You know what I'm saying? You know she a big old freak. And then when she left and came back with the Whompers, woo-wee. Stephanie started getting a little thick there. I was like, oh, okay, Stephanie, you over there put on. Okay, I see you. I see you. But you and Paul are both a piece of shit for what y'all did to China, though. You know, I really haven't. You know what? To be honest with you, I really have not fucked with Triple H like that. Like I literally hate him because when DX had did that parody of the nation and they did the whole blackface thing, I was like, how in the world are they putting this on TV and nobody's not saying nothing? Like, what are we doing right now? Like that shit hurt me the wrong way. So I just Triple H be referencing Stephanie's matches. All right, Stephanie, put the leg up in the air like that, and then put the other leg over here right here. Put one ball in your mouth right here and let the other one hang on the side of your face. Hey, Rick. Oh, not the Ric Flair face. Woo! RBU is hella funny for that. Oh man, no lots to take today. Man, Triple H, I think, wanted to reconcile with China, but Steph told her I'm not told him not to. Man, I that she never recovered from that. I mean, think about it. She literally had to walk away. That literally broke a lot in her, knowing that she got cheated on by the man that brought her into the business for one. Keep in mind, China was not in the business. She was a female bodybuilder. And apparently they was already dating. Brought her in, and she became one of the hottest things, because it was different. It was different. And she got over it. And then DX was created. And she got over even more. As a matter of fact, I dare say she was the most popular DX member out of all of them. And that's debatable. But when you look at the magnitude, it's just how everybody just gravitated to her. Am I lying? It took me a minute to kind of get used to seeing her because when I see females, body build like that, and they got muscles on top of muscles poking out, I'm like, that is not attractive. So I had to take the sexiness out and just look at it from just a pure, athletic standpoint. And then she went and got some work done. She hit that Playboy. Man. Absolutely did he know? As a matter of fact, didn't she outsell Sable? If I remember correctly. When X-Pac learned what blackface was, he cried. That was Mark Henry. That's what Mark Henry said. Yeah, I mean, why? Like, come on now. You're in America. You're an American, and you don't know what blackface meant? Come on, man. Come on. What history class was you in? You know what I'm saying? Like, when somebody say I don't know what blackface is, like I call them. I'm like, what country did you grow up in? You know what I'm saying? And you can't even really run with that because blackface is like a global thing. They be doing blackface all across the world. Fun fact: China would have stayed if Vince McMahon paid China more. She would have. She was the most over female. You know, she's a star attraction, and for whatever Vince though, shit. I bet you she would have slept with Vince. She would have. Vince would have gave her the money. Precision by. Rainmaker. See, Mark Henry gave X-Pac the green light, and okay, see, yeah, Mark Henry, he'd be killing me. I think Vince should have paid her. Yeah, he definitely should have paid her. Definitely. Wait, hold on real quick, y'all. That Rainmaker is so devastating. It's one of those you can count to 100 moves. Okada employs it with such legal poise. While he steps through, brings his hip, brings his whole body. It's not just a clothesline. Earlier tonight, Don Callis starting off our program, making trouble, and I understand he's not done during the pot. Don Callis, unfortunately for us, standing by. The outrunner one each. Who do you two idiots think you are? You know, I was wrestling in the 80s. I knew a lot of dirtbags like you. So why don't you get yourselves a couple of other stupid idiots to be your partner? Don Callis family kick your ass all the way to Tennessee like it's 1983. Okay. Throw out the chip. Yeah, that's the first time we've seen Kyle. How would you had China drop the women's title? Would you have had China drop the title at Judgment Day to Lita? That's a good question. How would I have had it? Oh, let me go back to 2001. Let me get my brain back to 2001 real quick. Because I know Lita was battling hers. So see, she had already went through Ivory. Then it was Lita. There wasn't too many. See, that's the problem that okay. Now it's coming back to me. That's the problem I was having with her as the women's champion. Because at that time period, who was going to be legitimately the one to beat her? You know, the only one really was Lita. She was the only one legitimately at that time that could have beat her. The women's division wasn't good at that point. They had a lot of the old, you know what I'm saying? And some of them weren't even like really wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Now
Your workout. Grab Kind protein bags.
had they see, this is where WWE messed up at with that. So what they should have did was, so keep in mind, what was that, 99? They had split DX up at WrestleMania. Triple H did the whole heel turn. You know, it was a whole double heel turn and everything with him and China, right? As a matter of fact, China did a double turn. she turned face and then back to heel in the same night. So when Sable was the champion, I would have started a program with her.
One child.
That's what I would have did. And then I kind of would have just ran with that.
Yeah.
Now, the only problem with that is Sable didn't stay past 99. Matter of fact, she didn't even make it through 19. She didn't even make it. Look, Sable didn't even make it to the summer of 1999. Okay. So I don't know how you would have did that.
Hours the day we put Coterie on. Place for night. Fired Arnold.
See, and then you see 02 came around. Then that's when they started to really build the division up. And then you brought so what I would have did, okay, this is what I would have did. So since she was already dominant, I would have just had her just keep the title for a whole year. For a whole year, right? So when you swing around back to 2002, you could have. Wait, but Lita was hurt at that time. Okay, so this is what I would have did. Okay. So after China won the title at WrestleMania, and then okay, so I would have went with putting the title on Lita, having Lita carry the belt for that time period until she went off and did the movie where she had broke her neck. Put it back on China, have her run with it through that whole time period, right? So now when you get into late 2002, now you can start having her going up against the likes of Victoria. You know, now you can have, you know what I'm saying? Because then you had Jazz and all these other women coming in at the time. Hell, you could even did Jazz. So there was like ways they could have did it. It would have took longer to actually get to the point where there's more females to legitimately wrestle her for the belt. But that's basically, yeah, I would have did it like that.
See you next week.
Later got hurt not too long after that. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's issue. No, but you see the thing about it is with Jazz, she's a pit bull. You know what I'm saying? So she don't really need the size. You feel me? Because she's a pit bull. So she would try to ground her. It would make for an interesting match. It would be no different than a Shawn Michaels versus a Kevin Nash. You know, where Kevin Nash naturally would wipe the floor with Shawn Michaels. But we're talking about an athletic competition. Jazz was that pick. Keep in mind, remember, she if you go back to her ECW days, she was like, she was a legitimate tough girl. And that's what you need. You need that legitimacy when you got that. You know what I'm saying? Shawn Michaels was legitimately athletic enough to where he could make it look like he could beat Kevin Nash. You know? And then, too, you got Jackie. Can't forget about Jackie. Jackie, another tough one. She would fight men. And if you could fight men, then, you know what I'm saying? I'll be right with y'all. I gotta go get one. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna take y'all with me. Let's see. The 2001 was a weird year. Very weird. Yeah, WCW went out of business. ECW went out of business. It was just, you know. I think I might go back and watch some of the old 2001 pay-per-views. See, Mark Henry had politics back in 98, 99, 2000. He had been WWE champion. Oh, yeah. But he wasn't ready then.
Yeah, something like that.
I think Mark. Now I don't think he should have had to wait as long as he did, to be a world champion. But yeah, at that time he probably needed, I'd probably say around 2000. Well, you know what the problem was though, RB? At that time, Austin was still around, and they weren't going to put nobody above Austin outside of Triple H, which make you wonder. It will make you wonder. Oh, hold on, right quick.
To be honest with you, we're pretty sick. I mean, he's in the ropes, though. That's true. He was in the ropes. I don't know much about Claudio got all over the board here, but right now, Claudio, you can see his face. He's trying to turn things around on Samoa Joe, but Claudio crashing into the barricade. Excalibur, not many men. The world that his business can move around absolutely one of the strongest men in any around the globe. Claudio Castagnoli is that's the sheer strength. And not often you see Samoa Joe maneuver around like that. That's right. Joe went, both the count, then got out there and made Joe pay. And tell me how that the LED barricade backwards. Joe's body strike there. And Claudio trying to rock it up again.
All right. Wait, hold up. Hold on. See, I missed that part. Wait on. Did he say Samoa Joe is a 17-time world champion? Did I just hear that? Oh yeah, he definitely was ready in 06. Yeah, that's why they gave him that match with a Taker at Mania. And remember he had that world title shot too back in January when at the Royal Rumble against Angle. So yeah, he definitely at that time was ready. But did I just hear? Wait, hold on. We gotta do some digging, y'all. Is Samoa Joe a 17-time world champion? Because Excalibur just mentioned something about a 17-time world champion. I know he wasn't talking about Claudio. That man should have been for the title. The Taker Mark Henry match. Because if Samoa Joe is and it's kind of funny that they would bring it up now. Him Like, what are we doing? Like, okay, 17-time. So if he's 17-time world champion, yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm kind of confused by that because why would they say? Okay, I'm gonna have to watch that. I'm gonna have to watch that main event back and see who he was talking about because I'm like 17-time world champion. Because if that's the case, whoever he was talking about, John Cena, yo, WWE got a problem with me. You know, and Mark Henry, I fucked with his I loved his thing. Somebody go and get their ass kicked. Somebody go and get their ass. Somebody go and get their. Oh man. 3-6 Mafia. That boy used to come out bigger than a motherfucker. But I only had one question for Mark. Why in the hell was you holding on to them braids for so damn long? Yeah, Mark did not want to let them braids go. Yeah, them braids kept going back and back and back and back. He was not gonna let them braids go. Mark be giving me some sellout to no, I seen that a while back. I definitely agree. You know. That's why I was surprised when he signed to AEW because I'm like, wait on, you a WWE guy. You know, and you signed with AEW. I'm like, oh shit, okay. You know, it just sucks. It sucks that we couldn't get Mark Henry and like Big Show, you know, a little bit younger. You know what I'm saying? So they could have had a couple matches. You know, I know Big Show had some matches in AEW, but were they really matches or was he just standing there to be a spotlight? You know, because the man he could barely move, okay? He could barely walk. You know. But that would have been dope, like Mark Henry against Powerhouse Hobbs. You know what I'm saying? Like that should have been dope. Or Mark Henry against Brian Cage, or Lance Archer. You know what I'm saying? Like, or even like Mark Henry against Swerve. Hell, they could have ran Mark Henry and Bryan Danielson back. See who else? Mark Henry and Will Ospreay. Yeah, it's. Yeah, but I mean, Vince was firing people just because they looked in a different direction he did. Like Vince would fire you. If Vince didn't fire you, he would fire you if you sneezed in front of him. Like that's wild ass rules Vince used to have. You know. But it is 10 o'clock. That is by time, y'all. Yo, Dre, check my SummerSlam 99 comment. Oh, okay, hold up. Oh, okay. Oh. Damn, why did you jump on like that? I just see it too, and the stupid thing jumped up. Okay. Fun fact, China was considered to win the world title from Stone Cold at SummerSlam 99. I remember that. I do remember that. Dude, it was a lot of politics. Yo, what a lot of people don't know about that match, it was a whole lot of politicking going backstage. A whole lot of politicking. So, and she just happened to be, had to take the bullet for that one. But that's my time. I will be back on here tomorrow. Thank you for coming through. Let's see. Is Leo or Tati doing Ring of Honor? Oh no, Collision tomorrow. That's right, Collision tomorrow. So we will be back over at Wrestle Tati's tomorrow for Collision. And after that, I will be live again, and we will be talking some more wrestling because there's a lot of stuff that I haven't talked about. I haven't talked to a lot of wrestling in a minute. So we're gonna do a complete wrestling live stream tomorrow. Yeah, we're gonna continue on with the party after Tati is done with her live. For sure. Okay, so y'all have a good night and stay safe out there and have a good day tomorrow. And hug your mama tight. Tell your mama you love her. Hug your kids, your wife, your girlfriend, your family. Tell them you love them. We only get one set of them. So with that said, like always, we're going to keep it cracking. We're going to stay militant, and we about this thing. Peace.